Hello fashion lovers, let's make this straight cut half elastic trousers together. So we're going to be using 2 yards of Ankara fabric. All the measurements taken are mine and they are free measurements. So my hip is 41, that's a free measurement. So I'm taking the full length here. The full length is 41, so I'll be minusing 1.5 inch from it. So the 1.5 will serve as my waistband. So mark your full length like so. Afterwards, you're going to mark your hip depth and also your crotch length. Hip depth here is 8.5, while the crotch length is 11 inches. I'm going to square that across and connect the lines together. I have a tutorial on how to draft female trousers. I'm going to put the link down below. You can also watch that for more understanding. So from that line, I'm going to mark my quarter of hip circumference. I'm going to mark quarter of my hip circumference. Remember, this is a free measurement. This is not a fitted measurement. So quarter of my hip circumference there. So I'm using 41. And I'm also going to mark the same measurement on the crotch line and also on the waistline. I'll square that across and connect the lines together. Now on the crotch length, I'm going to mark your thigh measurement, circumference of your thigh divided by 2. So this is a free measurement and mine is 26. So 26 divided by 2 will be 13. So you're going to mark 13 there. So in that place, from that point, you get your midpoint. This midpoint will be used to get the rest of the positions of your knee and your ankle measurements. This is just to create balance, to make sure the trouser sits properly on your body. But before then, I want to get the measurement between the midpoint between the crotch length and the ankle, just to get the knee position. So I'm going to mark that line. So at that point, I'm going to take 1 inch upward. So that will be my knee position. I'll take 1 inch upward to get my knee position. So I'm just going back to the crotch line to make sure it's accurate. So I'll get the midpoint, what I got in the crotch line, also repeat it on the knee and also on the ankle. I'll connect the lines together. Now on the knee, my round knee measurement is 24. Round knee measurement is 24. I think I used 22 here. So I'm going to divide the 22 into 2 to get the quarter measurement. So I'm going to mark the quarter at both sides. The measurement is still free, it's not fitted. So I'm going to mark the same measurement on the ankle too. And connect the lines together. Please do note that you can also use the same measurement you used at your crotch level, the same measurement you use at your crotch line. That is your circumference of your thigh. Like I used 26, you can still mark 26 on the knee measurement and also on the ankle if you really want it to be free. But I just minus 2 inches from mine. So It's still free. It's okay. So this is me just connecting the lines together. I'm trying to get the proper curve. I don't want that place to be too curved because it's a free trousers. So I'm just connecting the lines together back to the knee measurement, knee position. I hope you understand the drafting at this point. It's quite simple, but please do take your time to watch it and understand. You can pause the video in between, and also I'll put the link down below on how to draft female trousers. So I'm also doing it at the side seams, connecting the crotch length down to the knee position. So I'm taking ½ inch inwards just to create a slant at the center front. So I want to draw my curve. I'm just trying to measure the length that is left there. So there's little allowance left there. I'll be used for the joining. So the ½ inch you took inside at the center front, I'm replacing it back at the side seam, taking ½ inch upward, then connecting the lines back together with a slight curve line. There's a slight curve, it's not straight, but just curve. Just the technique you use on the skirts, that's the same thing you use on the trouser here. I hope you understand at this point. Feel free to leave a comment below on where you don't understand. So this is me just marking the checking the waist measurement. My waist measurement is 32. Remember, this is the only part that is going to be fitted is my waist, because there will be elastic at the back. So I am just checking if after joining there will still be allowance. So there's still going to be 2-inch allowance on it. So I'm just connecting the lines together. So I'm going to be adding 1.5-inch allowance at the full length, that's the ankle. So you can cut at this point. So once you are done, we are going to cut the back. So you lay your front pattern like this. So I'm taking ½ inch below the crotch line because this is the back. So I'm adding 1.5 seam allowance at the sides, at the side seams. .5 seam allowance. If you want to add more, I think 2 inches is okay. 1.5 seam allowance is okay. That's what I'm using. The trouser pattern is already free. So also on the center front, at the center back, I'm adding 2 inches for joining. Remember, I'm adding elastic. I'm adding elastic at the back. So these 2 inches will serve as enough ease for gathering when I'm using the elastic. Also adding 2 inches at the crotch line too. So I'm joining the lines together with the curve. So connecting the lines together. So at the center back, I'm going to be adding 0.75 inches upward. You know, in some trouser pattern you can add close to 2 inches or 1.5, so I'm going to be 0.5 inches because this is a high-waisted trouser pattern. It's high-waisted, it's already at my waist level, and I'm still going to be adding 1.5 waistband, 1.5 inches waistband, so 0.5 is okay for me. So I hope you understand at this point. So I'm just checking and checking the length of the crotch line. Once you are done, you can cut out your trouser pattern. So this is time for us to start sewing and joining our trousers. So this is me just determining if I want to put a dart. If you want to put a dart, you can put a dart. If you don't want to, it's okay. But I'm putting a dart in mine. So I'm cutting out the pockets. So I'm just using the remaining fabric scrap to cut out 2 pieces of pocket. I'm cutting out 2 pieces of this. As you can see that the pocket is very small. It's because of the remaining fabric scrap, and so I'm just going to use that. So you can make yours longer, like 13 inches long and 8 inches wide, so unfold rather. So I'm going to fix the pockets. Also, if you want a detailed tutorial on how to fix pockets, I'm going to link the video down below for you to watch that detailed tutorial. So I'm not going to be explaining too much, but you just watch the demonstration. So I'm chalking this so that you can actually see where I'm going to stitch. The length of the pocket, opening of the pocket is 6 to 7 inches. So I'm using 6.5 for mine. So after stitching, I'm going to fold it like this. So I've stitched it. So I'm going to do little notches just before the stitch line. Just little notches before the stitch line. Please do not touch the stitch line, that you won't cut through. Please, if you do not understand how to fix pockets, I'm going to link the detailed tutorial below. Please try and watch it. You understand better how to fix pockets, different type of pockets on trousers or skirts. So I'm going to top stitch on that line, and once I'm done, I'm going to iron. I hope you understand at this point. And thank you so much for always staying tuned. Do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. For returning subscriber, I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And if you're new here, thank you so much. I hope you learned something new. I hope you're practicing. I hope you're sewing. And feel free to always share comments and observations and any questions you want me to, any illustration you want me to, any pattern you want me to illustrate, I'll definitely illustrate, or any other dress or design you want me to make. Please feel free to leave the comment below. Thank you so much. So at the center front, I'm marking ½ inch where I'm going to stitch. From that ½ inch, I'm marking my dart. I'm going to do it at both sides. So this dart is going to be form of a plate. I'm just going to stitch it halfway, like 2 inches down below, then I'll leave the rest. So it's going to come out as a plate in front. going to mark it in both sides. So I'm going to stitch down the machines. Once I'm done, I'm going to press my seams. So this is how it's going to look like. So once I'm done, I'm going to join the center fronts together to make the front pattern one piece. So I'm going to follow that stitch line like that, and I'll stop my 1/4 of an inch away from the side seam at the crotch, like that. So the front is ready. Now we are going to stitch the back. So I'm just taking measurements of the waistline. So I'm going to do the same thing at the center back. I will leave 1/4 of an inch away from the side seam inner leg of the crotch line. After joining, I press the seams. Take your measurements at the waist. So now I'm going to join the front and back together at the side seam, taking 1/2 inch at both sides. Please do press your seams or press your stitches. So now I want to take the front and the back measurements, front waistline measurement and the back waistline measurements. This is because the band I'm going to make, I'm putting elastic at the back alone. So I need to take their measurements separately. So this is what I'm doing here. So I already have a pattern of waistband. I'm going to put all the link down below, how to cut waistbands, how to add elastic. I also have a detailed tutorial on how to add half elastic at your already made trouser pattern, even with zip. Remember, this trouser does not have any zip on it. So I'm cutting out the waistband, adding the seam allowances at both sides, top and bottom. I'm cutting 2 pieces of this. Same thing with the back. Please don't forget, click on the link below. I'm going to put all the tutorials on the description box. So I'm marking the width band, which is 1.5, and adding allowance, stitching allowance. So afterwards, I'm going to join them now. You can add stay if you want, but I'm not adding stay in mine. I'm notching it and iron. So at this point, you're going to join the waistband to the trouser now. First of all, I'm going to start with the front waistband. I'm going to pin them together to make sure everything stays in place. So I'm going to join the front, the front waistband first before I join the inner one inside. I'm going to do the same thing to the back waistband too, like so. So this is what you get. So for the sides, I'm going to join the sides together like this. You straighten it up like this and join and use the same seam allowance, which is half-inch seam allowance, and join it together, connecting the front and the back waistband together. Do the same thing to the second side too. This will lead to the process of where we are going to add the half elastic at the back. So this is what you get. Now this elastic is, the measurement is half of your waist measurement. Half of your waist measurement. So mine is 32, so half of it will be 16. So I'm still going to reduce it because I don't want it to be too loose. So I'm still going to reduce it after stitching. So I'm trying to cover the stitch line, joining the inner lining of the waistband to the waistline of the trousers. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going to sew within this line, then I'm going to stop before I get to the side seams. So this is what I'm explaining. I will stop before I get to the side seams, because that is where I will pass the elastic through the channel, through the casing. The casing you are forming, that's where you are going to pass sorry, excuse me, pass the elastic through. So first of all, I'm putting one end of the elastic at the side seam, one of the side seams, and I will seal it with the machine just to hold it in place. So I'm going to use machine to hold that in place, following the stitch line of the side seam. So that's what I've done here. So I want to cover the casing now. The elastic will be floating inside, but don't worry about that, but just make sure you cover the casing, that's the back waistline. Stitch it down and leave the other side of the seam, the side seam, open. Do not seal that place, because that's where you are going to bring out the elastic. So I'm stitching down the waistline now, covering the casing. So after doing that, now I'm passing the elastic through the casing now to bring it out. Please, I hope you understand at this point. Once you keep on practicing, you are going to get used to it. It's not going to be difficult again. And for more detailed tutorial, more explanation, or more demonstration, you can click the link down below. I'm going to put the link on the description box. So this is me just checking how free it's going to be, if it's still going to enter my waist, if I will be able to enter. So as you can see, it has passed my waistline, so I'm still going to shrink the elastic again so that it will still be fitted, and I will still be able to enter it since there's no zip or no button. So this is me just checking to ensure that the waist is fitted, and also I will still be able to wear it. So I ended up reducing the elastic. just took 1 inch out. Then I positioned it at the side seam of the other side. Remember, you sewed the other side too. Now you're going to do the same thing on this other side too. Stitching on top of the elastic to put it in place, to make sure it sits in place. So once you are done, finish up your waistband. Making sure all the joining are enclosed within the stitch line. So this is how it will look like. So this is me just checking the waist, ensuring that it's still going to fit me properly. So I'm checking the full length of the trousers. I ended up having ½ inch left for the seam allowance at the ankle. So now I'm going to join the inner leg of the trousers. Now I'm marking my round thigh circumference measurement 13, also at the round knee and also at the ankle 24, 24, which is 12, 12. So I'm left with just ½ inch. So I'm just going to join everything with ½ inch and do the same thing on the other leg. Iron your stitches. Then at the crotch line, remember we did not join the crotch line. So once you are done joining the inner leg, that's the inside leg, you are left with this. So just finish up with the stitch line and your trouser is ready. So the last thing you're going to do now is to check for the length. So my own length here is 41 and I'm left with ½ inch of seam allowance. So you're just going to join the ½ inch. Yours might be 1 inch, so just fold it in and finish up your seam allowances, and your straight cut trousers is ready. Half elastic straight cut trousers is ready. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share and subscribe for more content. Thank you. See you again next time.